Hello guys, welcome back to Proper Chaps Proper Chaps Chat. It's me and Ash again. We actually did spend Saturday recording. You might have seen our live video. I know it got quite a good reach, but it wasn't usable content.
No, not for me anyway, because I was expecting something a little bit different. If you were wanting to get entertained by five lads just getting absolutely ratted and shouting at each other and playing Jenga, it's for you.
Mate, you've actually sold that pretty well. It's deleted now, so you can't listen to it. But you've really sold that, and people might actually want to go and listen to that.
Ping us an email or drop us a DM and we'll send you the link.
It weren't terrible, but we got a bit carried away.
Is set up a Patreon, and everyone that wants to listen to us getting absolutely ratted and arguing and playing Jenga can do so for £1.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Even if 3 people do it, that's 2 packs of filters.
It literally. Yeah, no, but yeah, I think that's actually a way that a lot of people do make a living from podcasting. Is through Patreon.
Yeah, big time, because it's just, you can sign up for however much you want. I've been debating on doing it, but I don't think our listener base is that big yet.
No, but
got
I think
1,000 downloads per episode. It might be worth it.
To be honest, I think we could get enough to help us with certain things. Well, I reckon we'd at least get 50 people that will sign up for a £5 a month.
Maybe.
I reckon we would.
You'd never know, do you? I think it might be worth it.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Fuck it, if women can do it, and men can do it, I should say, on OnlyFans. Although we probably don't bring as much entertainment as an orgasm. And if you have orgasm listening to us, please let us know and you can come on.
You can definitely...
Come on.
Yeah, no pun intended. Actually, every pun intended.
Yeah, we do like a pun.
We do. So this episode in particular, we were going to focus on travel, as that's what we did Saturday.
2 guests. We probably have 2 guests next week, because we were supposed to have 1 guest this week that bailed on us last minute, and then we got another guest that also bailed on us.
He didn't really. The other one we sort of suggested that we do it a different time.
So we'll get both of them together. One of them spent time travelling around Canada, and one spent time travelling around Thailand.
Yeah, so literally opposite ends of the country as well.
Opposite ends of the country.
Yeah, of the world. Actually, they're not actually that far apart, I don't think. Not on a global map.
On a global map, maybe not. Although one's quite cold and the other one's quite hot, so there must be a difference towards the equator. But then again, all 10 of my geography lessons may be wrong.
Yeah, all of those hours you spent. Yeah, no, I don't think they're that far. I based that on the fact that I saw a meme the other day about flat earthers and about Pearl Harbor in Japan, and obviously Pearl Harbor to Japan on a globe isn't all that far, maybe a couple of hours, but on a flat earthers map, Pearl Harbor is literally one end of the map and Japan is the other. So on a globe, they're next to each other, but in a flat earther's mind, they had to travel the entirety of the world.
I've never understood flat earthers. I understand how they come about, because YouTube and all of social media, as we've noticed with the social dilemma that we talked about.
Yeah, they lie to us. We get lied to.
No, not that. It's just if you're passionate about something and you're one flat earther, they will put you in groups with 50,000 other flat earthers that constantly
back up your ideas and theories.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what we said with Dave, I think. It's what we talked about.
Yeah, so one of the things, I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said it. It might be Bill Nye, the science guy, who isn't actually a doctor in science at all.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, he said, if every other planet in our solar system is round, why would we be any different?
Yeah, but the point is, what flat earthers believe is that none of that is true. They don't believe that there's other planets in the solar system.
So it's just like a Truman Show?
Yeah, it's just lights. It's just cameras.
A giant ice wall around the Earth.
Yeah, they actually do believe we're in the Truman Show. That is like a flat earther, sort of. It doesn't exist.
So that's fucking mental in my head.
Yeah, too.
I was quite passionate about science when I was younger, but to me that's beyond. Like, you get your conspiracies like your 9/11s and your Epsteins and all that sort of stuff, but there's conspiracies that would probably have a slight element of truth to them, like 9/11, for instance. The fact that fucking
flat Earth isn't a
billions-
conspiracy. That's not a conspiracy.
No, but
That's a retarded
they think
view.
it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, they think it's a conspiracy. But you
then,
could think anything's a conspiracy in that sense.
like Bigfoot's not a conspiracy.
Cheese isn't
It's
a
actually
thing.
out there.
Cheese is a conspiracy. That's how ridiculous you'd be going. The ability to breathe is a conspiracy with a flat earther's
I
mindset.
saw a really good meme. I
love how we're basing our conversations
I know.
on memes.
I'll get around to it, and it's essentially it's like a stoner.
You won't get
meme,
round
but
to it
all
if you're a flat earther, mate.
No.
You go straight to the point.
What's that? Flat earthers. We've got flat earthers all around the globe. Is
Yeah,
what they said.
they
you
literally-
fucking morons.
Literally tweeted that.
But no, it was this thing. It says, "What happens? What if?" is one of these stoner questions. What if oxygen is actually poisonous and it just takes us 70 years to die? And that was for me was like,
Well, actually, you say that.
it's probably true.
Well,
because
fish. You know fish.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Fish or fishes.
Either or.
Either or.
You know they actually survive off oxygen. That's what they use to
No.
Yeah.
You're
What-
lying. Conspiracies.
Why, when you take a fish out of water, does it die?
Over too much oxygen.
Too much oxygen. They actually get oxygen poisoning, and that's what kills fish. So it's not a lack of
They're
oxygen.
pretty shit, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Although I'll tell you a fish that wasn't shit. Megalodon.
Weren't a fish.
It is. A shark's a fish, and it is a fish.
Are you sure?
it
Oh
is
yeah, it's
definitely a
whales that
fish.
aren't fish, isn't it?
Whales that are mammals, yes.
Yeah.
Other than the whale shark, which is still a fish. But they call it a whale shark purely because of its look, I would guess, and it looks like a whale.
I saw that was in, that guy that recently won £1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
That had something to do with a question about whales and their teeth. Anyway, this is boring. What are we talking about today,
I
Bob?
wanted to go, not a great deal, to be honest. I started work today at the Fiat. That was alright. I done fuckloads of tests and drove to Romford and back.
Did you make any sales?
No, not
Failed.
my first day. I know, I'm not allowed to speak to customers until I've done all my compliance tests. So I smashed them out by about 5:30 and now I'm ready to go. Providing I have all my logins and bits and pieces.
So, what?
So you have to do compliance tests.
Right.
So essentially it's to be able to sell financing.
Can
insurance.
you speak?
Yeah, some of the questions are like that. Not quite like that, but
Have you got the English?
it's essentially you have to have a certain level of competence to sell finance and insurance, so you're not mugging people off and the financial ombudsman isn't raping you for all your money.
Even though that other place that you worked at,
Yeah.
they obviously didn't have any of their compliance.
No, they weren't very good. So I've got them out of the way now, smashed through all them, and now I'm sort of ready. As soon as I start getting some inquiries through, I'll start selling some cars, hopefully. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah, that will. Make yourself some money.
Have you watched Black Mirror yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I
you're
keep forgetting
fucking
about it. You need to
let
remind me.
I'll text you later.
Yeah, not
'Cause you're
not
gonna
later,
have
because I
time.
won't watch it later.
Oh, well, tomorrow.
Well, it's already... What time is it? We've actually started late
We have. It's 11:30.
already.
I know, we watched the England game, which was quite disappointing.
So we'll round it up there.
We watched the England game, it was shit.
Oh, mate, that was horrendous.
I know. I only really like watching football if it's England, and that was fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
so
that was not good. We lost to Denmark, and it's all Harry Maguire's fault. So
going.
we normally invite people onto the podcast, but if you are Harry Maguire, you
fuck
can
off.
get fucked. You fucking slabhead bastard. Silly boy.
Smooth. Couple of things I got to talk about of note, which
Yep.
I quite like. Have you ever watched the TV series Dexter?
I know of it.
It's one of my all-time favourite TV shows of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
But what about all time?
Not all of the time.
Oh, just
all time.
okay, cool.
Right. So it's essentially about a serial killer that was raised by a police officer in Miami that hunts and kills other serial killers.
Right.
So criminals that he knows are definitely not innocent, definitely guilty, 100%. He will hunt down and murder and chop up and dump in the sea, which is quite a cool concept. And it stopped ages and ages and ages ago, and the ending was pretty shit, but everything in between the beginning and the end was fantastic.
Right.
They're bringing it back for a one-off Showtime special of 10 episodes.
Sounds pretty cool.
Which I'm quite looking forward to.
Yeah, nice.
Really looking forward to. Original cast as well.
So, same actors.
Yep, I've got some disappointing news as well.
Right.
I know this is going to disappoint many of our chapettes that listen.
Yeah.
Ryan Creamer. Do you know who Ryan Creamer is?
Yeah, that barrister.
No, he is...
And not barrister, I meant barista.
No, he's the guy that makes wholesome porn videos on Pornhub.
Oh, I have seen them.
The guy that's like, I come over to fix your washing machine and don't sleep with you.
Yeah, I have. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Don't tell me he's dead.
No, he's retiring after 2 years.
What?
I know, he stopped making Pornhub videos.
But he was like one of the most successful...
Yeah, I know. And some of his are, I, your stepbrother, decline your advances, but am flattered nonetheless.
Yeah, he's a proper legend. For any people that don't know of Mr. Creamer,
he is, and he's
check
a
him
ginger
out.
fella, so he's representing the minority.
Yeah, definitely check him out. He's fucking funny.
And I love some of the videos. He's what they're called. This one, lucky guy gets the ultimate Christmas present in brackets, a present. And this one for all the ladies out there, POV forehead kiss compilations. So just him kissing foreheads over and over and over again.
He's brilliant.
He's actually racked in his 2 years 36.8 subscribers.
36.8 million.
Thousand
Oh,
subscribers.
I thought it'd be more than that.
Not everyone likes wholesome porn. Some people just like
Only
watching
30,000.
someone get railed.
I wonder if he got money off it. Like,
I would probably think so.
I mean, we're talking about him, so
We are, so
he's obviously...
he's noteworthy.
Yeah, 100%.
I used to love seeing him come up on Lad Bible and stuff where it'd be like, just a little clip of it and it's like, you get stuck in a washing machine and I'll help you out.
Yeah, I'll remove you without any sexual advances.
I actually deliver your pizza without any sexual favours.
Yeah, he's a legend, that bloke.
And another thing of note from me, actually, Brian Rose. You know who Brian Rose is. We discussed him a few weeks ago.
That must mean he's disgusting.
No, he's...
No, I didn't get the M&M.
Yeah, I got the M&M joke. I just chose to ignore it.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that greatly.
Sounds it.
Yeah, I know. He was talking about the nonsense of coronavirus and all the different people.
You literally pronounced that and you said nonce as the...
Nonsense.
The nonsense.
Nonsense.
Nonsense is not to get caught.
Coronavirus and all this other stuff. And I saw a Facebook post from his London Real
Right.
Facebook page.
Oh, that's Brian Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just read this out because it's quite a long statement, but I'll brush over it. I am announcing my plans to become your next Mayor of London.
Oh, God.
So Brian Rose is running for Mayor of London.
I think that's a
Being
bad
an
idea.
American chap from New York probably won't go down.
I'd have
very
him
well.
over Sadiq Khan.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Well, Sadiq Khan is the Mayor of London.
Yeah, well, I don't live in London, so I don't give a shit.
No, but there's like he's not a very nice person.
No.
No.
Couple of things I didn't know actually. Did you know London and the City of London are two different things?
Yeah, the City of London
Is the financial capital of the fucking world or something?
Yeah, but the City of London is actually a place.
Yeah, it's just 2 miles and the laws are different there and everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're like massively fraudulent and all their money's in offshore accounts and
Yes,
stuff.
mate, the City of London.
That's the one.
Yep.
It says here, a new direction that promises to bring back a great economy. A new direction that guarantees world-class health service, culture, technology, transport and environmental practices. I believe it truly is the greatest city in the world. But now we face dark times and perhaps the most difficult crisis this city has ever encountered. He's really going for it, isn't he? Unfortunately, our elected officials have failed us. I see a total lack of leadership. I see a total lack of science-based decision-making. I see a completely disproportionate response. Where did that go? Response to the virus.
I think
I think he's
radicalised himself.
Speech.
Yeah, definitely. He'll flop.
I understand that he's got a world-class podcast. He has some really interesting people on there.
He had a very successful business and probably still does.
He sells a lot of courses.
In the last 6 months, he has completely fucked himself.
Yeah, by going very much down the conspiracy line, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it is worth checking out if anyone that's listening isn't sure about what they think of the Quran.
I used to love sitting and watching his videos on YouTube, like I would Joe Rogan. But now what he does, which is really fucking smart to be honest, but really fucking irritating for me, is he'll put up half the podcast on YouTube and
then
Facebook,
the other half on
and
his
the
own
other
place.
half you have to sign up to his newsletter to watch on his website. Which for me, that's not.
I remember you saying about he was creating a broadcasting channel.
Yes.
That was meant to be complete
rivaling YouTube,
free speech, and did a crowdfunding event for it. Got
raised a lot of money for
loads of money, and then announced to everyone that he wasn't making it public.
Yeah, you have to sign up to his fucking thing
basically.
which is stupid, because I can understand freedom of speech, and I love the fact that you can say whatever the fuck you want, like we do. We say loads of shit.
Yeah, we do.
And some people agree with it, some people don't. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to listen. It's what we've always said, it's what we'll always do. But for him to turn around and say he's creating a platform for freedom of speech, and then only putting his own shit on there and not opening it up as a platform. I can understand you not wanting like nonces on there and racists and fucking radicals and terrorists and stuff on there spouting whatever they want.
But then it's not freedom of speech.
There has, I see, that's the
Basically
thing.
what he's done is
speech.
he's created a website like eFucked or something like that.
I don't know what eFucked is.
One of them fucked up websites, or Live Leak.
Oh yeah, I know what Live Leak is.
Yes.
All the beheading videos.
He's created that, but only he can upload to it.
Yeah, rather than making it open source so everyone can upload to it.
Yeah. So basically, he lied to everyone that crowdfunded his project.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get any support in his reign for
he could
his
have
campaign
been
for
absolutely massive, especially because of the level of what's it called, censorship that's going on YouTube.
Yeah,
like you put fucking
and
12
Spotify.
seconds of a
Alex
song.
Jones's things aren't on Spotify, for example, which is bullshit.
Did you hear Joe Rogan's having it off? He finally come out and slated Spotify employees.
What?
Yeah, so a load of Spotify employees turned round and
since
said, since he signed the contract with them, a load of Spotify employees have said they're going to go on strike if Spotify don't censor the guests that he has and anything offensive. So whenever he spouts off about I don't know, children transitioning from male to female or the other way around, should have to wait before they do that, which is entirely justifiable, because how does a fucking 8-year-old know they want to transition to female when really they might be going through a phase? Some people do, they stick with it, but others, like a 12-year-old boy,
might change their mind.
Might change their mind after they've already transitioned.
So if that doesn't get censored, Spotify people are going to go on strike.
Yeah, they want to go on strike, and he essentially come out and said, I'm going to say what I want, and if you 23-year-old woke kids at Spotify want to strike, that's up to you. You crack on. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, which is, I think, 100% admirable, to be honest, because you
so his don't start until the turn of the year, does it?
No, it started already, but you can still get his... It's not exclusive at the moment.
Right.
It's going on there, which it wasn't on before, I don't think. It definitely wasn't on there because I subscribed to it before the videos went on there.
Yeah.
You can still get it on iTunes and
everywhere,
YouTube and bits and pieces, but as of December sometime, you will no longer be able to get it anywhere other than Spotify.
Well, not even on YouTube?
Nope.
What? He's going to have to take everything down?
Yes.
Even his JRE clips?
Yeah, because YouTube keep trying to censor what he says. You can't show other people's YouTube stuff. You can't do anything. He said he's done with it, so he's going to Spotify. And what I love about Spotify as well is...
So he went there to get away from YouTube's censorship.
And then all the 23-year-old woke kids, as he put it,
quote for quote,
are trying to censor him at Spotify. Spotify haven't come out and said they're going to do anything because they know they've just spent 100 million quid on this guy's content, and people want to see this guy's content.
I
his
honestly
opinions.
think my initial thought. Do you think it's going to turn out well for him? Or maybe not for him. It's already turning out well for him.
Yeah, 'cause he's got 100 million quid.
Exactly.
His new studio looks shit with that red lighting.
Yeah, it looked so good when they were building it.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? But that was all the exposed beams and stuff.
Yeah, there's none of that in there anymore.
It's all been covered up.
Why?
I know, it's weird, isn't it? Definitely prefer his old studio.
Yeah, well, that was just.
It was just bigger, more light.
It was just literally some big, obviously an office at some point in its time.
It was a warehouse, big warehouse.
Yeah, there
he's
we
got
go.
a gym there and everything.
Oh, really?
Excuse me. He's got a massive, it was a massive warehouse. He had a gym in there and all these fucking, everything was in there.
Probably had fucking rooms and that for guests to stay in and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Because obviously a lot of the guests
shame.
on there fucking drink and smoke and bits and pieces.
Yeah, so they've got their own little room in the fucking warehouse to go and get anxious in.
I would assume so. I haven't been inside.
No, of course.
But...
Yeah, I think it's a bad move for Spotify. I don't think all of his subscribers are going to go move across to it. I think they'll find alternatives on YouTube.
Being, censored.
I think a lot of the experience is being able to watch it in the way that it was.
You can watch it.
Yeah, but it's not, like you say, it's going to be in that new studio. It's going to be more. Yeah. I honestly think it's not going to do anywhere near as well.
I'm just going to mute my phone so Joe Rogan doesn't call me up and
tell you off.
Tell me off. But if I go to
Spotify,
you've got Spotify, haven't you?
Yeah.
And if I go to the Joe Rogan Experience, when you actually click on it, so let's go to the Mike Tyson, hit play. When you open it up, it actually still shows you the video on there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they need that.
They need that. But that was when Mike Tyson's 1532, and that was in the nice old studio rather than the...
Yeah, but so here is newest. Go to his newest episode.
1549.
Tom Papa.
Yeah, see how it's all fucking dark and...
Oh, it's like he's taking a step backwards in terms of visuals.
Yeah, it's just a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not for me, that, mate.
No, it's not. But each to their own. If he wanted
he's really had to uproot to do that, though, as well.
He's moved to Texas, Austin.
Yeah.
Spent 14.5 million quid on a fucking new house.
Is that what he spent?
Yeah, well, Spotify gave him 100 million quid, so...
No, they didn't. It weren't 100 million
was
straight up. No, it's 5 years, so 20 million a year. They probably pay him monthly. It's a 5-year contract. Obviously, that means...
Tell you what, that'd be tough, wouldn't it? 20 million a year.
Christ. Oh, yeah, $500,000 a week. Yeah, Jesus.
I would fucking struggle.
The only thing is, though, he's in America, so he's getting taxed half of that straight away.
Mm.
But I mean, $250,000 a week,
and that's without advertising.
Yeah, but he obviously can't advertise.
He still advertises. Have you ever been on his website? It's fucking well good, his website. So essentially, you go on there, and you can search through the equipment that he uses, and it tells you where to buy it.
Really?
You can search like what sponsors he's got and what discounts he gives out with each sponsor.
I had no idea because he doesn't name drop them. He doesn't do product placement.
It does on iTunes, I believe, but it doesn't on YouTube. If you only watch it on YouTube, you never would have seen any of his advertisements.
No, that's the only place I've ever seen it.
Yeah, but if you listen to it on iTunes, for instance, it will have adverts in it.
Ah.
Because it's just the audio version, so they'll just splice the adverts in.
I've never listened to Joe Rogan anything other than YouTube.
Nor have I, to be honest.
Yeah.
Other than Spotify.
And that's why I think he shouldn't be turning away from YouTube. I really don't. And if in December all of his YouTube stuff gets taken down, that is going to hit his pocket.
Yeah, it probably would a little bit.
I reckon he could be earning not far off that. From all
there was rumours. It's like 30 grand an episode, something like that is what he gets paid.
And he does that 5 times a week.
Yeah.
So it's 150 grand an episode he was making. So he's just sold out.
150 grand a week.
150 grand a week.
That's with YouTube revenue.
Then again, yeah, exactly. And then say he's getting taxed half of that. and he's only earning 75 grand a week, and even with his
that's tough.
even with his Spotify now, he'll be on roughly $250,000 a week after tax. So what he's actually done there is he's tripled it plus some.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
A guy that was a UFC commentator and done Fear Factor, and it's just
still is a UFC commentator.
Grown his personal brand and has some cool guests on.
Yeah, he's fucking.
But I think, like we were talking about this earlier, it's a lot harder for us to build up an audience of say 35,000 listens an episode
because we're not already famous.
But you get a lot of people like David Tennant's just started a podcast.
Has he really?
Yeah, and he's got I'll see if I can pull that up on Spotify as well. David Tennant obviously played Doctor Who. He's been in loads of stuff, Harry Potter, Good Omens,
and I bet he's already getting thousands and thousands of listens. What is his podcast based on?
Yeah, so it's called David Tennant Does a Podcast With, and he done Neil Gaiman, who's a massive. He's an artist. He wrote Sandman. He wrote Stardust. From the movie Stardust. He wrote one of my favourite books, The Graveyard Book, which is incredible.
Right. How many listens has it had?
How do I find
Is that Spotify exclusive?
No, I don't think it's Spotify exclusive. Elizabeth Moss, who he's probably done films, so Handmaid's Tale, West Wing, Mad Men star. Because he's famous, he's already.
And is he doing one daily?
No, this is sort of weekly by the look of it. All about 50 minutes. Brian Cox, Tim Minchin.
Oh, imagine he's Tim Minchin, legend.
Judi Dench.
Yeah, see, he's pulling
George
in some names.
Takei, who was in Star Trek. Who's that? Oh my!
As if he's got Brian Cox already.
Jim Parsons from fucking
Friday Night.
Big Bang.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's that. What's his name?
Sheldon.
Yeah, that's it.
He's done Michael Sheen, who he did Good Omens with. Tina Fey.
Is Michael Sheen the brother of Charlie Sheen?
No.
James Corden. That's a fucking name.
Kristen Ritter, the actress.
When did he start this?
28th of January 2019.
So he's been going for 6-7 months.
Yeah. Look, Olivia Colman, who was in The Crown and Broadchurch. Whoopi Goldberg, Jodie Whittaker, Ian McKellen, John Hamm, Gordon Brown.
Brown.
Catherine Tate. He's got massive names because he's famous, so all he needs to do is get his agent.
And the reality is he's probably paying them to appear.
Either paying them or his agent turns around to their agent and says, "Oh yeah, can you spare 50 minutes just to have a chat?"
Is that what's his average length?
50 minutes.
That's what he goes for, about an hour. So what I think we need to be doing really is upping our average length of a podcast. I feel like we started here thinking that an hour was best.
Yeah.
But I think longer's better.
It can be longer, can be better if
the thing is a podcast. It has to be interesting, of course.
Unless people just like listening to us talk.
Ramble.
Yeah, ramble. Pretty much, it's pub talk, like we said. But I got a message today from old friend of ours, Nathan Cousins, who literally just messaged me saying, "Oh, I listened to the Proper Chat podcast. It's fucking really good."
You had a message from a stranger a couple of days ago who said she'd like to appear on it from fucking France.
Yeah, and he was essentially like, "Keep it up. I really enjoyed it."
No, exactly, and that's what we're doing, mate. But obviously, we need your guys' help. So we need you to share our shit. If you think longer's better, I honestly think it is.
Ping us an email at properchap2020@gmail.com.
Yeah, it's a shit email address.
Yeah, I know. Well, yours is properchapofficial, and I can't access that shit.
No, but I can give you that shit.
Give me that shit.
Yeah, I think that's a better one.
Shit. Yeah, so
however, I was reflecting on that.
Official.
No, go with the Proper Chap 2020 because so initially I thought it was shit, and I interrupted there and said it's shit, but actually it's a bit like the Heinz 87 or 78 or whatever it is. It's a bit like on our established date.
Yeah, established.
So when we've got
lockdown 2020.
Yeah, which is when it started.
Exactly.
What's come out of lockdown for me, which is something I wanted to touch on, I started taking my music more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I've started doing this podcast. So far, this podcast has generated us money. We've had money and having money coming in from sponsorship. I started up making my music. Since then, I've been contacted randomly by a woman from a website called Running on Empty, who...
That was the article, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was fantastic, that, actually.
Wrote an article on my music because she saw my video and liked it. And then this week I had a woman from Portsmouth radio station. Let me get the name of the radio station, just so if anyone that's listening. Yeah, so the radio station was called The Flash, or Flash on Air. So theflashonair.co.uk.
So is it like an online radio
It's
station?
an online Portsmouth.
Original Parrot material.
Yeah.
Shout out to the streets.
So they contacted me and said that they wanted me to be on there on Saturday. They've got a song that I'm releasing on the 16th. It's going to be exclusively aired on there. So that's like these guys. It's just an online radio station.
Pretty much podcast.
Yeah, but similar to, of course. But
I'll tell you what we do have now that I got set up yesterday.
But they're featuring me anyway on Saturday, and they reached out to me. So 2 things that I've set up in lockdown that hopefully in 5 years' time will be our main source of income. Hopefully.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what it's going to be.
Set up a website.
Right.
Where people can review us and subscribe so they get notifications when we put out new shit, and also contact us through it. It's easier doing properchap2020@gmail.com, but we also have www.podpage.com/proper-chaps-proper-chat, which isn't good. Yeah, but if we wanted to put our own domain on there, we have to pay like $20 a month.
Yeah, well, what I think, actually, if anyone listening can design websites, we'd be more than happy for you to design us a fully functioning website.
With like a blog post website.
Yeah, one that we can post articles from, basically.
And new episodes and videos and clips and shit.
Yeah, so if you can design websites, we will sponsor you for... You design it for us, and you will become one of our sponsors, mentioned in our podcast for, what should we say, 15 episodes?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
15 episodes.
which will be there forever. What the joy of podcasting over radio or anything like that is that is there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you were a guy that could go back in time and Joe Rogan mentioned your company over 15 of his episodes, how much your company would be worth now.
Yeah,
because you were
mental, because it's just constantly there, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It never vanishes, and that's the joy of a podcast compared to the radio. Radio, you can get played 15 times, but that's it. Whereas
then it's gone, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the problem with. I think podcasts going to overtake radio.
I can't believe that there's not already a podcast FM.
Well, a lot of radio stations and TV stations are doing podcasts now. Like BBC Sounds do a podcast.
BBC Sounds is fucking huge. They've got a lot of high list celebrities and stuff that are podcasting for them,
which is pretty good when you've got the power and the money there to turn around and say, by the way, Stormzy, if you want to earn yourself an extra £1 million a year, just chuck out a podcast once a week.
Yeah, and that actually they have got
and they get the listens and bits and pieces.
Yeah, but we're building it and we're doing it ourselves. Exactly. So anyway, we've gone a bit down like a
rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, it's not a rabbit hole. No. It was just us waffling shit and asking for your guys' supports, shares, streams, listens, follows, reviews, likes, all of that.
Pretty much anything you can do to help us out.
Yeah.
What do you think to this new 3-tier COVID lockdown thing?
I think it's a good idea, but I think it's about 4 months too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, the damage now is done. It's the second wave is a lot worse than the first wave, and it's already infiltrated the camp. It's basically like what they've done is they've set up a front line defence when the enemy is already well beyond the front line. So it's too little, too late. Like you were saying earlier, Boris saw the numbers in Manchester, told the Mancunians that they need to lock down, and the Mancunian authority, the local authority, said no, we're not doing it. We're not going into tier 3 like Liverpool have done. We refuse to, and Boris Johnson has pretty much turned. You don't really need to. Is effectively what's happened. I'm basing that on some very, very loose research, but from my understanding, they were told that as of tomorrow, you'll be level 3, and they've turned around and said no.
I was listening to Lead in Britain's conversation today because I'm a boring cunt and I was in the car for a while.
Lee in Britain?
Yeah. leading Britain's conversation. And
Leading Britain? He
were,
was meant to be in fucking Germany.
They were talking about this circuit breaker, I think they were calling it, lockdown. So essentially just locking the whole country down for 2 weeks.
Right.
Which is all well and good, but how many... If they shut it down for 2 weeks, right, I'm talking about...
Yes, Nick, one,
yeah, go on, help yourself.
Cheers, right.
I'm talking about, yes, the virus can be very, very fatal to some people, but it's also very mild to others.
Yeah, if you're old or a cripple. Simple as that.
Yeah, in which case, lockdown, fair enough. But if they put us into another lockdown, for instance, it's 2 weeks, and then at the end of that 2 weeks, they go, well, actually, we need another 2 weeks and another 2 weeks.
Which is exactly what happened the first time round. Too many people got furloughed, right? So there was companies that were using and abusing the furlough scheme. Companies that didn't need to use it, that because they could, did, and it has crippled the
British economy.
Yeah, they don't have the funds to go into a second lockdown now for the companies that really do need it. So what they're doing instead is watching companies die. Yeah, watching companies lose all of their custom because they've scared the punters so much that they won't go to it, and now they're offering no financial support.
Cinemas could be a very safe place to go if people are socially distanced, they wash their hands.
Frankly, Ash, Cineworld, I think they're the second largest supplier worldwide.
Closing 127.
Have already closed, not closing, have already closed. And when
it's not permanent.
No, it's for until big blockbuster creators decide to put the movies back in there again.
Yeah, but 127 cinemas, that's 5,500 employees that are being made redundant, that may have rent payments, mortgage payments,
that do
phone
have
bills,
car
payments.
That do have. There is definitely hundreds and hundreds of employees, thousands of employees that have all of that stuff that now can't pay that because of this cinema closing. And Boris Johnson literally came out and said, "Please go to cinemas, guys."
Yeah, but they've done so much scaremongering.
Yeah, they fucked themselves.
People are terrified to do anything.
You know, the only thing they did well out of this whole situation, the only thing that they did really effectively,
what's that?
Scare people.
Yeah, I agree with that. But one of the things as well, it's like, if we do go into another lockdown, which if we have to, we have to. That's like, but how is someone going to make the decision between lives and business?
The
economy.
You had such an opportunity there to make that statement better.
Yeah.
Lives and livelihoods.
Yes. Yeah.
Who makes that? Obviously,
Boris and
the decision is fucking obvious. Lives come before livelihoods. Obviously, the difference is, for that one life that you might be saving, you could be destroying 20 livelihoods for the sake
which then causes depression, suicide, mental health, domestic abuse.
Yeah, which in turn can cost more lives.
Yeah.
So you might not be losing lives to the virus, but if you start destroying people's livelihoods, then you're going to get a lot more depressed people that are going to kill themselves.
Families up as well.
You're destroying more lives by trying to save a 94-year-old woman with lung cancer because she decided that she wanted to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid for me.
Yeah, for me anyway. I'm not a politician. I'm not well read on this sort of stuff, but
no. But the thing is, recently, he'll only go by science, right? Which is completely fair, right? He'll only.
Can you pass me the Pepsi Max? It's in that door, please.
He will only. Well, just chuck my phone. He'll only go by opinions and by statements that are based on scientific fact, which makes a lot of sense. But for that fact, and most scientists they're very pessimistic going into things.
Yes.
They won't go into an experiment with optimist values, because if you go in optimistically and it's not that, then obviously you're at fault of making yourself look like a retard. If you go in pessimistically and then it does give you an undesired effect, you can say, well, we came in with an approach that it wouldn't be good.
Yes.
If you go in optimistically, you're at fault of making yourself look like a retard. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Everything that so far has come to light, and well, not everything, but most things have proved that this illness, or this disease, or this virus is nowhere near as scary and as worrying and as dangerous as people initially expected. And it is almost now like the government are trying to save face by carrying on this facade, when now scientists are looking at the facts and seeing that the initial expectations are nowhere near what they were. So why is it? And don't get me wrong, I'm not putting words in mouth at all. He is very science-based. We agree on a lot of stuff. We don't agree on everything. But even he will say, okay, this wasn't as dangerous as we initially expected. I'm not saying that it's not dangerous. I'm just saying that, is it something that we need to be as wary of? And that's my view on it. And just for the record, but I do know that our views have aligned a lot more. But obviously that's on my part as well, finding out more information. But yeah,
I've been trying to look at deaths per capita. I can't remember where I read it actually the other day, that the death rate worldwide for people that have got it and recovered,
it's like 0.3.
From people that have got it and recovered and people that have got it and died, is 0.24%.
Yeah, so now it's lower than 0.3. Yeah. It's now 0.24.
Which, don't get me wrong, people are dying, everyone dies, and everyone wants to not die soon. They always want to die late.
And if you can stop people from dying,
fair play, yeah.
But if you are destroying livelihoods of people that otherwise wouldn't be affected, then it's a problem. It's a real problem.
Like us, look at us. Your fucking job's changed, the way they pay you in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Because people are not scared. Well, they are scared to go in the numbers that they used to go in.
Because we're restricted to the numbers we're allowed in.
Yeah.
We can't operate as a business how we could a year ago. This time last year, we were about to approach our record week. Yeah, we wouldn't be busier, and I'd have 10 to 12 staff on every day. Yeah, next week, October half term, I would schedule 10 to 12 staff
every day,
every single day. Now the maximum amount of staff we're allowed on?
3.
Bang on. 3 staff compared to the 10 that we'd have this time last year.
Which is mental. So that's 7 of your employees that are
out of a job.
Out of a job.
Yeah, they're literally out of a job. The amount that have quit and left because they have no hours.
Yeah.
Destroying livelihoods.
Yeah, it starts getting to a point. And this is very much for anything hospitality based. Though. Is yours classed as hospitality?
It is hospitality. It's leisure.
So it's a soft play area.
Yeah.
It's all about, for me, it's all about being sensible. You're not going to take your 60, 70-year-old gran, 8-year-old gran to a soft play area if there's a virus that will kill them out there. But if you're...
Let me tell you a fact. I've never seen a 70-year-old in a ball pit.
No. If you're yeah, true. If you're taking your kids out and you're, I don't know, aged, let's say 17 to 55, knowing the fucking UK kids that are chucking out kids.
The UK kids that are chucking out kids?
Yeah.
Oh, right, no, I see what you mean.
Like kids getting fucking pregnant because they're dumb fucks.
Just to clarify, that don't happen in our soft play centres.
No.
No sex in the ball pit.
So let's say 17 to 50, and you're taking your kids or your grandkids out, and you're not high risk, take them out. Go out, enjoy it. Go to fucking zoos, go to fucking leisure centres, go to cinemas. That's my opinion anyway. Enjoy it.
Yeah, so why didn't we?
But if you're...
Like I said months ago, I'm pretty sure I said it on a podcast, we should be looking down the vulnerable and looking down the elderly. And as harsh as that sounds, it kind of happened, mate. There's a reason that all of the kids in universities have got it. That wasn't fluke.
No, it's because they have social lives that they don't want to miss out on.
It has been manipulated to it has to have been. How can it be so rife in all universities? Not just one.
I think what that is one person goes out, catches it from someone at a fucking Burger King.
Yeah,
or
but it happens
McDonald's
to
or
everyone.
something.
The thing is, it's been so strong in unis. It's
to a point where people are putting fucking security guards outside, so the kids they're.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous.
Yeah,
For me, that has been manipulated. Again, there's no science behind that. I've not seen papers on it.
It's just personal opinion.
Yeah,
if you don't like it, don't fucking listen.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't listen. But it just seems too perfect that it was rife in care homes before. That was an accident.
Yeah, because
that
they
didn't
were
mean to happen.
sending people that have tested positive of COVID-19 from hospital back to fucking.
The only way that could have been manipulated is if they're trying to kill off these people because they're a drain on society.
Well, we were saying this, and this is very much. This is not based on fact, obviously, although there are some facts about it that are true. I've got to word this very specifically. We were saying if you were going to make a perfect bioweapon.
Well, this is common knowledge. This is the conspiracies that have spread far and wide.
Exactly. So
it would be ideal to have one that doesn't affect kids at all. In fact, can spread within children without anyone knowing.
Without any symptoms, just all asymptomatic.
But kill off the elderly and the drains on society.
As they in quotation marks. So this is ethnic minorities, terminally ill people, and elderly people, everyone that
people that aren't benefiting society, and people that isn't
so
a tragedy
yes.
if they die. So the tragedy dodgers is children, and I think it's like one case worldwide of a child under the age of 5 has died exclusively from coronavirus and no other symptoms, nothing at all.
Else, no cancer, no fucking
nothing. One child worldwide,
well, which is fucking mental.
Yeah,
that is literally mental.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's what was I reading? I was listening, like I say, on LBC, changing the subject slightly. So you remember Grenfell fire?
Yeah.
So essentially, they've found out that loads of flats and buildings across the UK have got cladding that is highly flammable.
Yep.
So they said they're going to create a grant of about 150 billion.
Mitchell?
No.
Not
a
Grant
government
Mitchell.
grant of 150
grant.
of 150 billion to replace all the dangerous cladding from these buildings. But they've now changed it, and they've only put $1 billion aside for it out of their 150 billion, and they're only doing it on buildings that are less than 18 metres long. So any sort of flats and bits and pieces that have got it aren't actually going to get fucking protected, and the citizens inside those flats aren't going to be protected.
If you're in charge of the budget for that sort of stuff, Grenfell was a very
isolated incident, so to speak.
Right, and
how did that even start? I didn't really look that much into it.
I'm pretty sure it was a predetermined fire, so kids fucking about.
That got out of hand. And they didn't. The problem that the first response and the fire service was they told them not to evacuate. It's something that we're going to be able to control this. Don't worry, you don't need to get out. We're going to fix it. And then it grew because of the cladding. Now, if something was to happen again, they'd be able to evacuate. They'd know that this building's got the cladding on it, that they need to get everyone out. So a lot of it was miscommunication, and that's why there's been so much death in that isolated case. So now they can go, right, we know that building's got that cladding. If there's a fire, everyone's to evacuate. So I kind of understand why they're going, you know what we could do? Save 149 million. And just evacuate people.
Evacuate people. And that way you don't get the death. Yeah, they lose everything. That sounds so bad.
Yeah, well, it's true. I would rather lose everything inside my house
than not be dead.
Yeah. But yeah, I can understand.
And let's face it, if every single one of these buildings did burn down, the insurance payouts are probably going to be less than 150 billion.
Yeah, massively, yeah.
Yeah, so they probably look at that and
go... If you've got home insurance.
Well, even if you haven't, if it's a
electrical fire or some shit. That's
if it's the
caused by
fault.
building.
Yeah, if it's the fault of the people that own the flat, then they're gonna have to pay you out, whether you've got insurance or not. If it's not their fault at all. But either way, that was an isolated case, and I'd understand why they'd want to save 149 billion, especially with the economy the way it is.
Yeah, it's true. They need to be putting some money aside for furlough, because if they don't do anything like that this time, people are going to be fucked.
Well, it's already happening. Furlough was the perfect safety net to allow the economy to completely fuck itself without it blaming the government.
I thought that the furlough scheme was like a job for job retention, so you didn't have to lay people off, yet people were getting laid off afterwards anyway.
Yeah, well, it's convenient that a lot of businesses were allowed to get the government funding for, what was it called, bounce back loan.
Yeah.
They furloughed all their staff, they got a bounce back loan which was meant to retain these people, but obviously you're a savvy business owner, you can now get rid of these people and still...
and all that money's going into marketing. That's a fucking tax write-off or something. It's just free, isn't it?
I know. That's us being quite negative. And
talking about that, just before we move on from the subject, because I wanted to leave this particular subject on this, a car dealership got a bounce back loan, and the owner went out and bought a Ferrari.
Yeah, I saw that. That was in America though, wasn't it? And the guy did that almost instantly.
Yeah.
There's another guy that owns, he's one of the, I don't actually know what pizza company it is, but one of the, I do actually, Papa John's.
Yeah.
The guy that...
they make shit pizzas as well.
I don't know, I quite like them.
They ain't as good as a Domino's.
One of the highest franchisees of Papa John's in the UK, so one of the guys that owns the most Papa John's restaurants, was putting through fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds worth of fake orders.
Really?
When they did the Eat Out to Help Out.
Just because they got 50% of that back.
100%.
Is it not checked on accounts or something?
Well, that's why he's got busted. They obviously worked out how much he'd ordered in, how much food he'd ordered in, and then he said this week he's done £5,000 worth of Eat Out to Help Out, so you owe me £2,500. But reality is, he's done 500 quid, so they owe him 250 quid. And he did that over all of his stores and got hundreds of thousands of pounds and has been busted for it, for manipulating the Eat Out to Help Out.
That's fucking mental, isn't it?
I'm glad they noticed. Anyway, shall we go on to something a bit more positive?
Yeah, what have you got?
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards, yes, you did want to talk about Pokemon cards, the bane of my life.
Everyone, and we were speaking to someone about this today. Sorry.
Got a bit of gas.
Yeah, mate.
Hiccups.
God.
That's all that cause you've been drinking.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm drinking a Tisky, I think.
Just in
Fuck
case.
me, look when that was established.
1629, that's old.
Jesus Christ. Unless that's not when they were established. They just literally wrote a number on there to make people think it was established.
I started watching Black Books. We'll go back to what you were saying, but I started watching Black Books with a friend of mine, because sometimes I get a bit bored about playing the PlayStation, so me and him will start a Netflix program at the same time, listen to it through the headset and chat and discuss it, like we did it with Undateables, and we started Black Books. And there's a good episode of Black Books where the Irish guy and Bill Bailey go to this guy's house, and he's allowed them to drink their wine, and he's like, look, you cannot drink these 10 bottles, like the dusty old really expensive bottles of wine. You're not allowed to drink these bottles of wine. Like, one of these is I'm presenting one of these to the Pope next month. Like, you can't fucking drink them. Don't fucking drink them. These nice, shiny, clean ones, you can drink as many bottles of them as you want. Just keep drinking, it's fine. Like, they're house sitting for him. And he zones out all the way through this conversation and starts drinking this wine that's being supposed to be presented to the Pope, that was made by these special grapes in like the 1500s or some shit. And then it goes on, they've got to recreate the taste of this wine, so they're putting like lumps of oak in it and fucking like berries and grapes and all this sort of stuff. But all the way through it, like Bill Bailey's character, like the Irish guy, is getting more and more fucking tense all the way through. Hair's a mess, it's pissing it down, thunderstorms outside. Bill Bailey like hurts himself, so he's crippled, like all crippled, like walking around, and he's like, and it starts playing out like Frankenstein, like they're making Frankenstein's monster out of this wine, and it's like thunderstorming, and this lady's walking past walking a dog, and she just sees Bill Bailey all like crippled, hunched over, come out the door, and then the Irish fella, I can't remember his name, come out, and he's all fucking like shouting at him and hitting him, and it's like, it's fucking so funny, and
well
it's
written.
Like, yeah, it's amazing.
I remember watching that on. I swear it was on Dave.
It's on Netflix at the minute.
It was definitely on Dave.
Everything that's on Dave has been on somewhere else.
Yeah, other than Taskmaster.
Which
have
is
you watched
exclusive.
Taskmaster?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
You haven't watched Taskmaster?
No,
did I have a go at you about this
you
recently?
Did, but I've watched The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yeah, but that's not Taskmaster.
It's not, but it was.
Right, well, take it this way.
Okay.
Every other program on Dave, you've seen before on another mainstream channel.
Yeah, Taskmaster you haven't.
Started on Dave and has now moved on to Channel 4.
That's pretty.
It's done it. That's how good it is. That it started on Dave and
I wonder if many people actually watch Dave now.
Yeah, cool. It's one of them ones that you can just put on in the background. It's
like comedy gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a knockoff of. Why did they decide to call it Dave?
Because everyone knows a Dave. I was speaking about a Dave earlier. Yeah. Dave's everyone's got a mate called Dave.
Yeah, but why name a TV show Dave?
Because it's just your mate, isn't it? It's just your mate that you just go.
So it's familiar.
It's clever. Laugh. And it is good. Would I lie to you is frequently on Dave, and that is a fucking fantastic program.
That's got Rob Brydon.
Yeah, he's the host.
I fucking love Rob
David
Brydon.
Mitchell and Lee Mack are the team captains. It's fucking brilliant. But Taskmaster is Pokemon cards. Yeah,
oh, yeah. Taskmaster Pokemon cards.
Yeah. So, is it Paul Logan?
Logan Paul. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is the tall, gimpy.
No, it's Logan Paul, but I just called him Paul Logan.
I don't know. He's one of them YouTube stars.
It is Logan Paul. Yeah, it's Logan Paul because then it's Jake Paul as well, who's his brother.
And they do that Impulsive podcast. Again, he's famous, so he gets loads of other fucking famous people on there.
Yeah, and it's massive. But what
thank you.
Oh no, it's tiny. No, he bought a Pokemon deck of first edition Pokemon cards for $200,000.
That's impressive.
For a packet that would have cost £30 when it was released.
A box. It's a box. So
it's
multiple
a box
packets.
of. I think there's I'm pretty sure 50 decks of trading cards in there.
Yeah.
50 packs. If you bought it, it was one of those ones that you'd buy.
The individual packs.
You'd buy if you owned a shop. You'd buy that as wholesale.
Yeah.
And you'd sell each.
Individual
yeah.
packs.
For I think they started at £1.50 and then they ended up being £2.50. But yeah, so you'd buy it for 30 quid, you'd sell the packs in there for 75 quid anyway. It was one of these original boxes of first edition cards that had never been opened.
There's
so
a guy
50
that
packs
does that on Facebook is really good.
It's probably the guy that has been on Logan Paul's podcast.
Yeah, he buys old packs and then he opens them to find cards and then he sells the cards off to be graded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a massive Pokemon YouTuber that the past year.
Pokemon was sponsoring the fucking football earlier. You noticed? There's loads of Pokemon shit on there.
Yeah, because they're clever. Nintendo, is it?
Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket monsters.
Yeah, they know exactly how to market their brand, and Pokemon at the moment is at a massive spike. So if you do have Pokemon cards, sell them now.
One thing I didn't know about Pokemon cards. That I recently found out through watching that chap on Facebook. I can't remember his name, but he's really out there. He's like real loud and
and then you go energy.
Yeah,
energy.
Yeah.
When he's the
guy. Yeah. So he was it him?
Or Pikachu.
Yeah. They were saying that the value of a Pokemon card is only valued when it sells. So if you sell, for instance, I've just pulled up on eBay, there's a Holy Grail Pikachu Illustrator card, PSA 9, so it's a mint, $2 million it's up for. So if that's sold say one sold now for 150,000.
Yeah.
That is the perceived value of that card, is 150,000. Yeah, if you went on and bought this for 2 million,
Then
that is now the perceived value. So essentially what you could do is buy 2 of them for 150,000 each, then get one of your mates, give them some money to buy it off you for 2 million, and then
all
both
a
of
sudden
those cards, that card is now valued at 2 million quid.
So maybe it's a huge
Which
bubble, a
sounds
bit
like a
like
massive-
fucking Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes up and up and up until people can't afford to buy
It's
them
a
anymore.
bubble. It's a bubble. So then it bursts.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with
And
Bitcoin.
then I'm going to go around and buy all the shiny grey fucking stamp Charizard cards for £3 each.
JME, the
He's got loads of them, hasn't
he's got fucking loads of Pokemon cards. He did a thing
His wall in his house is like
covered
plastered
in Charizards.
shiny Charizards, which is fucking mental.
Yeah, that would be right. He's better off selling now. He actually did a track. Are you going to edit this?
Yeah, I can edit for it.
JME did a track about Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Listen now. What a fucking awesome tune that was. Yeah, that is JME's Pokemon track. And he did that, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's find out actually when JME did that. And he just had an album out at the time. And he was offering signed versions of his album
For anyone that gave him a shiny Charizard.
for anyone that gave him a shiny
which is
Charizard.
fucking well smart.
Yeah, because now they're worth thousands per card.
There's one here. It's a Charizard base set first edition Shadowless, 9.5 mint for 77 grand.
Yeah, and it will go. That will sell for that.
Yeah,
So
easy.
Logan Paul.
Have you seen that fat old guy? I can't remember his name. That's got one of the biggest shiny Charizard collections, and he went on Pawn Stars.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he sold them.
No, he didn't sell them on Pawn Stars.
Oh,
They
did
wouldn't
they?
give him enough money for them.
Fuck.
It's worth like 2 million quid just for his entire collection of
Now, and
Charizards.
that was because he went on there a couple of years
And
ago.
they pretty much laughed at him.
There we go. So it's called The Very Best.
Mm.
And you've just, all you guys have listened to it, it's him.
That's the guy. Yeah, those two.
Yeah. So that was, yeah, absolutely mad. And somewhere, at some point, I had so many of these cards.
So did I. But the thing is with us, it's either our parents threw them away or they got ruined
Or they
you
could
had
be in
that-
our fucking loft.
you have a shiny Charizard that you kept away from your mates and left it in the back pocket of your school trousers for your mum to wash, and now it's worth 40 grand. And
Yeah,
you want to
no,
stab
literally
your mum
that.
in the throat.
No, there will be, like, somewhere. I'm convinced that they're in my loft or something somewhere. I really don't think that it's gone. Yeah, so basically that guy from Pawn Stars made the biggest purchase 2 years ago, and Pokemon cards, there's you can track it like stocks. Pokemon cards over the past year have gone fucking huge. Absolutely huge. They've absolutely bubbled.
I think there's like a nostalgia thing as well. With lockdown, people are buying their
Yeah,
old
and
shit
what it
that they're
is,
like,
it's the people that used to collect
that have got some money now.
20 years ago, when they were kids, that now the ones that have run into money, unlike that bloke from Pawn Stars who's probably about 60, his kids were collecting them, and he thought, well, I'm going to collect them better than you because your kids and I'm an adult.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what he did.
And the reason he did it was he remembered his son pulled a shiny Charizard out of a deck and fell asleep holding it in his hand.
Yeah.
Like, sat up looking at it. Like, he's literally like holding it in 2 hands like a fucking Bible, looking at it, and fell asleep in that position. And he said he went in there and saw that. He's like, yeah, this is fucking quality.
This is going to be something. Gary V has even said.
No, he does sports cards.
No, Gary V has said. He said a few months ago, Pokemon cards are now outweighing sports cards. So if you need to invest your money somewhere, invest it in Pokemon cards. A few months ago, and that's why a couple of the traders now, the really successful ones, have done it off the
Are
back
just going
of
and
Gary
buying,
V's advice, because he said he's so good at spotting trends. Gary V.
He's massive. Isn't he?
Yeah, and he said
Remember
that
he was saying
that
about
he's.
BlackBerry dying. He's like, it's not enough. Being able to type quicker.
He
on
said
this
that
is not enough.
when BlackBerry were at their peak,
Yeah.
at their fucking peak, he said this is gonna die, and it did. And yeah, he said months ago, Pokemon is gonna be bigger than sports cards, and now look at it.
It's mental, isn't it?
You know what? I don't see
think
so
we
much
had
of Gary
fucking
V
loads of them.
on Facebook anymore.
It might be because you started watching other stuff and it just pushes it out.
Yeah, but I follow him. Does he still do daily uploads?
Does loads
I
of
just
stuff.
don't notice it as much. But but anything else you want to talk about anyway? Because we've gone over the hour.
No, I just wanted to go through the top. This is from Wealthy Gorilla. Top 5 most expensive Pokemon cards. Well, I know straight wrong. This is wrong. I know straight away this is wrong because it doesn't have the illustrated card on it. But it says here number 5 is the number 1 trainer promo card worth $70,000.
When was this written?
This was written.
Where
do I find the article?
You go back. Well, yeah, go back onto it, and it should have said at the top.
Fuck this website shit. It won't let me get off it. Look, I fucking hate it when websites do that.
There we go. So it should say.
It just says it's by Matt McIntyre.
Oh, right, we'll go all the way to the bottom.
When it was. Fuck this website. Wealthy Gorilla, you need to sort your fucking website out.
It's a huge
shit.
website. It will say so. It goes.
It doesn't say on there, does it?
That's weird. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
The illustrated card is on here. Look.
Yeah, where is that?
So the trainer promo card $70,000. Pikachu illustrated card $100,000. The Genghis Khan parent and child promo card $133,000. Number 2 trainer promo card $200,000, and then the pre-released Raichu card, which is unknown.
Yeah, because it might not even be one in existence anymore.
Pre-released Raichu card. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's on here. I'll tell you what.
That's a card that obviously they know is out there, but it's probably just only been destroyed. No one's got it. Imagine if we've got one sitting in our fucking loft.
Yeah, I would literally shit myself.
Have you even checked your loft?
No, I haven't. I should do, really.
At your parents' house?
No, I need to go and have a
look. When you were collecting Pokemon cards, were they living there?
No, we were at the old house, so it might have gone lost in the move or thrown away.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is quite expensive now. Pez collectors. Pez dispensers.
Yeah, but they peaked in like the 90s. They were huge.
You'll be fucking surprised. Look at this. The World's Fair Pez dispenser, 25,300.
It's fucking ridiculous.
For a 1940s Pez dispenser. What the fuck? It's mental. Couple of grand.
Even just normal coins now. New age 50p pieces. Kew Gardens.
My brother's got 2 Kew Gardens coins.
Has he really?
Mm-hmm.
From 2009.
Yeah, my mum is a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
For a bookshop.
Oh yeah, you were telling me she steals all their coins.
She has a bag of her own 50p's and a bag of her own pounds, and she will go through people's change when she counts it all up, and she'll pick. So we've got 3 complete sets of the Olympic coins.
Really?
The 2012 Olympics, complete sets.
The ones that basically, fuck me, you need to look at any of her swimmer ones. Because if she's got a Olympic swimmer with the lines over its face, that can be worth thousands.
Really?
That's new age 50p coins. That's out and out the rarest. Yeah, it was worth 800 quid about 6 months ago. And
Christ.
Yeah, they've peaked. Kew Gardens now, 120 quid minimum.
Yeah, we've got a couple of them. So we've got 3 sets of the Olympic ones. Yeah. We've got 2 sets of the Beatrix Potter ones.
Yeah, so even the Jemima Puddle Ducks.
Yep.
10 quid a go.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got 11 of them at home.
Yeah, and we've got a few Kew Gardens ones as well.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. I've got a £2 coin worth 50 quid. No, that's a lot. It's worth about 40. It's the Northern Ireland 2006 Commonwealth Games that were held in Manchester.
So, Olympic swimmer 50p coin with the lines, yeah? That one?
No, because that hasn't got the lines over the face.
Ah, right.
So the lines
Well,
go
this
over the
one's up
face.
for 625
Yeah,
quid.
that's someone trying to mug someone off.
Is it?
There's not one on the free market. It's that
Kew
rare.
Gardens.
No, that's the
Swimmers,
2016 and not the 20. Look, quickly Google. There it is. That's what it is. No, that's a replica of the actual coin.
See, this one here is up for 1,000 quid, and that doesn't look like it's got the lines on it.
No, it hasn't. That's
there's
a
quite a
chancer.
clear difference between the two there.
Yeah. So look, that one, the one that I just showed you.
This one.
That's the one that's worth
410 quid.
No, it's worth a lot more than that. When was that written?
Or 6th of
Where does it
August
say? A rare
2012.
Olympic coin.
Has sold on eBay for a whopping 410 quid. It's original, 820 times its original.
Okay, well that was 6th of August.
Oh, there's another one here. 1st of June 2020. Rare Olympic swimming 50p coin sells on eBay for 10,100. How to check if it's worth a mint?
Yeah, that's more like it, because there was only, I think it was 60 or something that were produced before it.
That's fucking mental that someone would pay 10 grand for a 50p coin.
Because it will be worth a lot more than that. Because you know, another brilliant way to get huge money for a coin is
smelting. Smelt your own.
No, it is mint errors. So if there's actually something that's gone wrong in the mint and it's still gone through, they're worth an absolute bomb.
That's the thing as well with Pokemon cards. When they're sent through to be valued and put in the little plastic boxes,
they're worth less if they're off. If they're wonky,
if
worth
they're
less.
wonky, even though that is not your error, it's printer error.
Yeah,
they're worth less.
Whereas
is fucking mental.
With coins,
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. It's worth more if it's slightly wonky or slightly off centre. So that's like the 20p's that were misdated. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
They didn't have a date on them.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally round another good friend of mine, his house, when that came up on the TV saying these coins are being recalled. And he went into his mum's purse and had two of them. And he sold them for, I think at the time, sold them for £16 each. And now,
how much would they be worth now?
Probably about 200 quid a coin.
Let's have a check. Let's Google it. 20p with
undated.
No date.
Yeah. How much are they going for?
950 quid.
No, they're not selling for that, mate.
That's well, it's on there. I don't know if it's selling on there, but
no, well, you're making.
Someone here with stupid stuff. There's one here, 90 quid, rare error, undated 2008 coin.
Yeah,
90 quid.
Yeah, whatever it was.
There's fucking 20p's on here, 2.5 grand.
Yeah, that's tries, mate.
Yeah,
let me tell you what that pound coin is. That's most likely 2016 pound coin, when they didn't release that coin until 2000 no, it's a 2017 one. They didn't release them until 2018. Right, it turns out there was 1.5 million that were printed as 2017.
This has got a date of 2016 on it.
Okay, and they didn't come out until 2017.
And
so
that's
people,
up for 1,500
yeah, but it's
quid.
not. They're not worth that. There was 1.5 million of them.
So you've got to be quite careful with what you're buying coin wise. You need to really know about it. I'm quite surprised how much you know about coins. That's impressive.
Like I say, I collect them at home. I actually collect them.
People collect stamps as well. I've never understood that.
Yeah, because then the thing is that it's sort of go with the times, and coins, it won't be long until coins are out of circulation. It really won't. Everything will be card only.
So essentially what we're trying to say is, whenever anything becomes a trend now, or any coins, just keep all your coins, just keep everything, all your bits of shit, all your Tamagotchis, all your fucking Pokemon cards, pretty much anything that you think, well, I just spent a tenner on this, but in 50 years it might be worth 1 million quid.
And the reason that you have to sell when it's peaking is completely proven in TY Beanie Babies.
Yeah, they used to go for big money. And there was a funny thing I saw on, I follow a page on Facebook called History and Pictures.
Right.
And there was a picture of a couple in divorce court
splitting up their TY baby. And now they've not got anywhere near the value that they had. So it is peaks and troughs.
I had loads of Beanie Babies when I was younger as well.
Yeah.
I think it was just one of those things in the 90s. So many different trends came out, whether it was Pokemon cards, Digimon, Beyblades, fucking tech decks,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh, all the cool shit started coming out, and then
Phones happened.
people started keeping them.
Yeah, well,
and I
phones
fucking
happened,
didn't.
mate. The difference is now that we haven't seen a trend like that in the last 10 years.
No. Hopefully one day this shitty iPhone 10 that I've got is going to be worth £10 million.
And the thing is, though, Game Boy Colours now,
Yeah.
80 quid minimum.
Well, my missus bought me a few years ago for Christmas
She bought you for Christmas?
a Game Boy
and I just
Advance.
stayed.
Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah.
That was about 60 quid.
Yeah.
And she also got me Pokemon Blue.
Right.
Original, like, Pokemon Blue. And that was 40 quid.
Just for that?
Just for that.
And when that came out, that was probably 20 quid. And now, if you look at original, the Apple One, the very first Apple, sold for hundreds of thousands. Look at Amstrad's.
What? The actual computers?
Yeah.
Game Boy games.
Right, anyway, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just want to let you know there's a brand new sealed Pokemon Fire Red on Game Boy for £9,000.
Ah, that's not worth
No. However, this one I can see it. Brand new, in the box, plastic shrink wrap sealed. Original Game Boy Pokemon Red version. 2,300 quid.
It won't
sealed.
go for that, though.
I don't know.
You know what I
I
have
would,
done?
You know?
I've got Game of Thrones on DVD, and not Blu-ray or anything, on actual DVD. Season 1, sealed at home, and I reckon that will generate some value in years to come.
We buy every Christmas. We'll wrap it up after this because we're getting on to an hour and 20 coming up to. Harry Potter released the books, but they're big hardback illustrated copies. We've got the first 4 of them, 3 of them or 4 of them, just upstairs on the shelf. Still got the fucking cover around them a lot. I reckon they're going to be something that
there was a guy actually, an article yesterday, sold his Harry Potter
first edition
27.5 grand.
Mental, innit?
But it's because it was the one that had like 10 different sentences and 600 spelling mistakes across the book.
Yeah, I know.
So it was
where wand is put in twice on page 19.
Yeah, it was like one wand or something.
Yeah, one wand and then a few lines down. One wand.
Yeah.
So this has been our collectibles and COVID, or collectible COVID. Collectibles episode.
COVID and collectibles, which is ironic because you can collect COVID quite easily at the moment. Yeah, but cheers for listening, guys.
Catch them all.
You got to catch them.
Unless you're a vulnerable person. Only if you're under the age of 50 with no underlying problems, because we don't want your death on our hands.
We definitely don't. Or your COVID. Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck COVID.
Right, see you in a bit, guys. Thanks for listening.
Lovely, thank you. Don't forget to like and share, and please share this to your friends because it really does help. We've just hit 518 listens, so if we can make it to 1,000, that would be amazing.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye. Shout out to Beardy Barber.